Yo, welcome to the show. I'm Zack Poff. I got Myckena Guerrero in the house.
Hey, everybody.
She will be there Friday night for one of the biggest games in high school football this year. We're breaking down number 1 versus number 5, Mater Dei versus St. John Bosco. How excited are you? You're going to be there?
I am super excited.
Yeah, and I tell you who else is super excited, the Trinity League, Southern California, because we're going to find out who the kings of Southern California and the Trinity League are. Mater Dei's been playing great football this year. They're 6-0. They're averaging nearly 50 points per game. You put on the tape, you see JT Daniels is balling, and he's got a ton of weapons to get the rock, too.
He does have a ton of weapons. I mean, they're stacked on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
And obviously it shows on the field.
Yeah, I mean, who do you think? I mean, amon-ra St. Brown is probably the most. He's the number 1 receiver in the class. He's, he missed the first 3 games this year, but he's played great football this year. I've been super impressed with Nico Remigio and CJ Parks, too, though.
Yeah, I definitely agree on that one.
And the defense, you got Solomon Tuliaupapu, absolute stud linebacker. He got a little banged up in that St. Mary's game, but he was back on the field last week in their 70-35 win against Santa Margarita. I think he's going to be the X factor for Mater Dei because I think it's going to come down to the defense for those guys. It looks like DJ Ugalele might get the start. Real Mitchell tweeted today that he's battled an injury, so not sure. So they might go the 2-quarterback system, but they've been utilizing DJ a little bit more. He's more of that pro-style type, too. So we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, I mean, he went off last week against their win over Orange Lutheran. So.
And we saw 3 weeks ago when they're in D.C. on the road. Bosco's down by a couple of scores. DJ comes right in, leads them on back-to-back touchdown drives, gets a big road win. So, yeah, hey, Coach, I earned that PT, and, he's showing it right now. DJ Ugalele, one of the best quarterbacks in the 2020 class. I think the biggest key in this game, though, is going to be him or Real Mitchell, if they're going both quarterbacks.
No, I definitely agree on that.
Going up against that young Mater Dei secondary. Darion Green-Warren, this kid's a stud. He's in the class of 2020, though. He's a youngster. I think he's going to have to step up a little bit. And we said the same thing going into that Gorman game was it's going to come down to which young secondary stepped up, and Mater Dei did then. But Bosco doesn't have a young secondary. I know you love Jaden Woodby. He's big time.
Well, of course. And I think he's going to have his best game of the season on Friday.
You do?
Guaranteed.
Yeah, I mean, that's what most guys do. He's a big-time player, and we saw with Elijah Griffin against Long Beach Poly. Big-time players step up in big-time games. Jaden Woodby and Real Mitchell, I believe, are the 2 leaders of that team. Woodby on the defensive side and Real Mitchell offensively. Woodby, man, he's just one of the good pieces they have in the secondary, though. You got, Stephen Blaylock, who's a stud. You got Chris Steele, one of the top corners in the class of 2019. So, St. John Bosco's got some ballers in the secondary. That's going to be a fun matchup to watch because I believe JT Daniels is the best quarterback in high school football.
No, hands down.
Regardless of class. I don't know about hands down. Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields are both good, but I'm still taking JT.
Of course. And what we're talking about, California football as well, he's the best quarterback in California.
Yeah, Matt Corral's good too, but I'm taking JT Daniels for sure. But he's just got a ton of weapons, man. I love Mater Dei's offensive line too. I look at Mater Dei and I look at them being the most complete team in high school football. But what
does that mean?
If somebody can knock off Mater Dei, it's St. John Bosco. They're a team very familiar with the Monarchs. They've won 7 of the last 8 meetings. But Mater Dei, this is a different team. I believe this is the best Mater Dei team in school history. That's saying something. They've had some great teams, obviously. They've had Matt Leinart, Matt Barkley, a lot of great players come through the doors. But what do you kind of think the X factor might be in this one?
I mean, if St. John Bosco's defense can get to JT Daniels, if they can cover amon-ra, then it's game ball. But if they can't, then Mater Dei's got it hands down.
Yeah, I look at JT as being, you got to treat him like he's Tom Brady.
Yeah.
When Tom Brady doesn't play well, you're getting pressure, and that's what the Braves do. Cole Aubrey, this kid's absolute savage, getting pressure on the quarterback. Bosco's always been good, in the trenches. They always have a good offensive line and a good front 7. That's going to be key, is can they get pressure on JT Daniels? Because if you give JT Daniels, it's just like Tom Brady. You give him time to throw, he's going to slice and dice it. And
he makes it look so easy out there.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's got that wow factor. He's got that vision. He just reads and reacts. It's crazy.
The kid's been calling his own plays since his freshman year.
Yeah.
No other quarterback under Bruce Rawlinson has been able to do that. And he's had quarterbacks that have played in the NFL.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm looking forward to this game. Some people have been saying Mater Dei by 2 or 3 scores. I think it's going to be closer.
I've seen polls where it's like a 70-30 ratio. I mean, I don't think you should count out St. John Bosco at all.
Oh, no doubt. I mean
Bosco,
I
don't know why.
Bosco's very confident going into this game. And you know why? It's because they have one of the best coaches in Jason Negro. They've had success against Mater Dei. And, you know, Mater Dei is trying to get to their first ever CIF state bowl game this year. And I think if they beat Bosco, they're going to get a lot of confidence because that means they would have beat all of the ranked teams that they've faced so far this year. And they've won every game this year by at least, 14 points? Yeah. So,
I mean, last week they got up to 70 points.
Yeah, in the third quarter. In the third quarter.
But they didn't do that last season.
Yeah.
So I think St. John Bosco's like, oh, wow.
Yeah. So, who are you picking, though?
You know what?
I do want to know what.
I've been going back and forth for a lot of things, and like I said before.
Most women do. Can't make up their mind.
That has nothing to do with a woman thing, because I know you go back and forth a lot, too.
I do.
But anyway,
who am I going to start in fantasy this week? But
yeah, probably. But anyways, like I said, I think Jaden Woodby's going to have his best game of the season.
Okay.
But I do think Mater Dei is going to take it. I don't think it's going to be a blowout.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be 1 or 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
What about you?
Mater Dei is number 1 in my rankings. So
for a reason, yeah.
Yeah. I look at Mater Dei as being the most complete team. I love St. John Bosco. They're going to have a good game plan, I believe, against Mater Dei.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm rolling with Mater Dei. I think the young defense for Mater Dei is going to play well. I look at Tuliapapu being a linebacker that's going to make plays at the Mike position, but I think that young secondary is going to play well, and I think Darion Green-Warren might make a big interception at some point in that game. But I'm rolling JT Daniels. You know, I look at Mater Dei's offense as being one of the best I've ever seen since I've worked here at MaxPreps. I mean, they're loaded with with weapons on offense. Yeah. I'm going Mater Dei by 10. I'm gonna go. 10? Yeah, give me. I'll go 31-21.
31-21.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so, you know, we've heard people come up with nicknames for this game. I think it's kind of stupid, to be honest, because they're probably going to play again in the playoffs, so who cares?
But this is, like, the first time they're meeting this season.
I told you to get some names ready for the show. What do you got?
Okay.
Not all 10, just 3 of the best.
No, I think I'm going to go all 10. I got the Battle of the Elite, SoCal Showdown.
I like that one,
season,
actually. No.
Release the Cannon.
No, we're not at Tampa Bay.
Trinity League Showdown.
That's kind of old.
Down goes the Monarchs or the Braves.
That's too long.
Who gets the number 1 seat at the table?
No, that's kind of long.
You know what they say about Friday the 13th?
What do they say?
I don't know. I thought you were going to finish that sentence.
No, I don't. What do they say?
The battle at El Camino. When JT meets Woodby. Or when Woodby meets JT.
All right, so I'm gonna just say you were 0 for 10 there.
Really? Because I like that.
The only one I might roll with
the Battle at El Camino?
No. Oh. Just something basic. Trinity League Showdown, because that's all it is. This game, these 2 teams are going to meet again in the playoffs.
Okay, but,
you know, calm down, people. All right? Chill.
But people are excited.
Oh, you know what they say about Friday the 13th?
Yeah, you know what they say?
What they say is
anything can happen.
Okay, I don't think that's what they say. You just made that up. And
no, well, you went with it.
All right, I know those 10, the 2 I'm rolling with. I like SoCal Showdown and Trinity League Showdown.
Okay.
All the other ones, just go ahead and cross off, all right?
I mean, you don't have to cross them off.
Yeah. This is going to be a good game, though. Get your popcorn ready, and, follow MaxPreps. We'll be covering the game. You're going to be there, so you'll be sending social videos.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm going to.
Hopefully, you're good on the camera, so.
I'm pretty good. I think I did pretty well last
And I heard you might be bringing a couple of gift bags for some of the players there, too, so.
I hope you like dad hats.
That's all the time we got. That's Myckena Guerrero. I'm Zack Poff here on MaxPreps.com.